Hi everyone, it's me. My name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 9 years. I hope you are enjoying the beautiful gray sun today because the sun is gonna set before 4 p.m. Buckle up. Now, after 9 years, I guess this is now my 10th winter. We are currently in my 10th winter, which is insane to even think about, so let's not think about it. After all of these British winters, you would think that I would be used to them by now. But somehow, every year when they roll around, I am always a bit surprised. If we're gonna be honest, I would say that I have perhaps bouts of depression or depressive episodes. Bouts of the sads, if you will. Perhaps that's what this video should be called. But I find every time that dark, gray, rainy winter rolls around, we get kind of like a layer of seasonal depression on top of, your classic depression. So I do find that in the wintertime, I have to actually act. I have to actively take care of myself and make an effort to take care of myself, unless we want to spiral out of control. So I'd really rather not, if at all possible. So let's chat on how I stay sane in a British winter, or at least sane enough until spring rolls around. So let's go. And welcome to the kitchen. Not the cleanest version of this room, so just don't look at it. In the wintertime, I try to remember, if at all possible, vitamins. In particular, I've got D3 for obvious reasons. One of the really big differences in wintertime here is the amount of light. When British people find out that I'm Canadian and I'm complaining about a British winter, the automatic reaction is like, surely winters in Canada are way worse. Kind of, but not really. One of the biggest differences I've noticed is the amount of light. So yes, a winter in southern Ontario, where I'm from, can be very snowy, can be very cold. It's still very bright, and that was something that I really noticed when I moved here, and honestly, I still struggle with it in the wintertime. British winters can be not as cold, but also can be colder, can be more wet. It's more of like a wet cold that you feel like in your bones, and it could be gray for months. So I do throw in some D3. I used to have a sad light. I probably still have said sad light. I don't know where I put it. I haven't used that in a couple years. I found it kind of annoying, like looking into the light, like you have the light, just like it's a bit much. And to be fair, actually, I got my eyeballs lasered professionally. I got laser eye surgery last year, and I haven't used a sad light since then. You are a bit sensitive to light when you first have the surgery, although it's been so long now for me that it wouldn't probably be an issue. But yeah, I haven't done it in a while. I just found it a bit annoying. So D3 is a good one. I might even throw in a little bit of zinc if you don't mind. And our bag of vitamin C. It has one of those little like threaded Ziploc kind of closures, but I can never get it to close. So I use a clippy. One little hack, if you will. YouTube loves when you talk about like hacks. Maybe that's what the title of this video should be, like winter hacks. So you don't, go into a depressive episode. I like to keep my vitamins here in the kitchen, and specifically right here, because this bit of counter is usually where I prepare lunch. So while I'm standing here and I'm making lunch, I can see all my vitamins and then I'll take them. With this C, these are like chewable tablets. They're really sour. Did you know that you use a lot of vitamin C on sour candies? Because it's crazy sour. I tend to just have these out because it's such a big bag. Right here, in fact. Or if, for instance, when my mom came to visit at Christmas, I had these out. So whenever you kind of like came into the kitchen, you'd see it, you could take one just to kind of help us from where her traveling internationally, and we were doing lots of stuff just to kind of hopefully help us not get sick. Not that I think vitamin C stops you from getting sick, but do you know what I mean? So vitamin C stays here. Same with my vitamin D and my zinc. Maybe a couple of fish oils too, if you're feeling fancy. Do any of these do anything? One would hope. Do you know what I mean? One would hope. Sometimes when it's dark and miserable and you are in the throes of, say, January in Britain, First off, my thoughts go out to you. Sometimes you just want a little treat, but you don't want an unhealthy treat because that makes things worse, but you still want a nice treat. Do you know what I mean? Enter the sponsor of today's video, Holy. Holy is a alternative to unhealthy soft drinks, and they've got loads of flavors. So if you like to do a taste test, you've come to the right place. They also have 3 different lines. So you've got energy drinks, you've got iced tea, which is my favorite, and you also have hydration. My favorite so far is the apple and green tea, which was kind of a surprise. Green tea, not normally my vibe, but it was so good. And I know this is stupid, but it's hard to express. Like 3 p.m. rolls around and it's starting to get dark and perhaps the sun is going to set, and I'm sat at my desk and I'm being a bit miserable, and I decide, you know what? Pause. I'm gonna have myself a little treat. Holy is great because there's no sugar, no artificial colors or flavoring, and it's less than 20 calories per serving. And they taste great, which is kind of necessary. Isn't that cute? As part of the New Year, New Me Starter Set Deluxe, you get this limited edition glass bottle and stickers. If you'd like to give Holy a go this year, try something new, New Year, New Me, there is a QR code. How awesome. Or I have 2 different codes. You can do NAPS when you check out to get 10% off your order, or NAPS 5 to get £5 off your first order. I know it's kind of silly, but it is a fun way to break up the darkness of winter. You need a little treat at 3 p.m. without any sugar. May I offer Holy. And if you do try Holy this year, this is a great bottle. If you do try Holy, let me know your favorite flavor. And also, please try the apple and green tea. You will not be disappointed. Another thing that I try to focus on, particularly in the wintertime, is crafts and or learning something new. And this winter has been super fun because I have been doing this. So big shout out to Emily's and Hannah. We have been making a Christmas crocheted blanket. Now I know what you're gonna say, Alanna, it's not Christmas anymore. To which I would say, correct, but I haven't finished it yet. I taught myself how to crochet last year, maybe the year before. So I'm very, very new at this, but Emma and Hannah were like, there's this crochet along thing. So basically you buy a box of yarn and you get YouTube videos and a pattern and you like follow along. So we're all making the same blanket together. And it has been so fun. Look at that. I made that. I haven't got to the part where you sew everything together yet, but I'm really excited. How cute. There is something so therapeutic about making something with your hands, even though it can be soul crushing when you do it wrong. For instance, I'm currently working on this panel. Don't mind all those strands. I had to restart this maybe 4 times, and every time I had to unravel it, I thought, this is the end. I don't want to do this. Forget it. But you gotta hold on. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been doing this together, and yeah, it's just really nice. I've been like putting on a movie, and then I'll get set up and I'll check the YouTube video, and then, you know, I'll watch the movie while I crochet, and it's just been so chill when it goes right. In a kind of like personal way, I have really struggled with, I feel like I should be monetizing like every aspect of my life. So while I'm sat here and I'm crocheting this blanket and I'm like, I should be turning this into a video, like I shouldn't be making a TikTok, like I should be monetizing this craft that I'm doing, because I think that's just the mindset of like being a content creator. Like you need to film everything. But I really enjoyed doing this because I want to do it, not because I'm trying to make a video. Huge shout out to Em and Han, because without their help, I probably would have given up. This was a bit more advanced than I thought it would be for someone who doesn't really know how to crochet. But if you can find some sort of craft or learning some sort of hobby, I find that really helps in the winter, especially if it is an indoor craft. Because let me tell you, outside, kind of gross. Although we should go outside. Which leads me to my next point, which is quite simply getting outside and getting off my computer. It can be really hard to go outside when it is gray and rainy and foggy. It's been really foggy lately, like just miserable outside, but it is really annoying how much it helps. Even something as simple as making myself a little coffee and I go for a walk for 20 minutes just to be outside, even if, you know, it starts spitting and it's kind of miserable, just to get outside and just be away from my computer just for a little bit. I'm very grateful that Adventures in Apps and like creating content has turned into a business, and I love being in my home. And if I could stay in my home forever, I probably would. But in terms of the depression, in terms of the mental illness, I really need to go outside, take a minute, take a breather, get off of my email, get out of the YouTube comments, just go for a walk. See all the neighborhood dogs, look at all the trees, look at nature. And it's kind of it's annoying and it's shocking how much it makes a difference. So I have that time outside, lovely, maybe get rained on, come home, and then I can get back into it. So this is just your little reminder. If you work from home and you don't remember the last time you went outside, maybe make it today. Go for a walk. Get a little treat, go for a walk, look at the dogs. You're gonna have a great time. Next up on my quest to stay sane, try saying that 5 times fast. Lifting heavy things and then putting them back down. A huge thing for me over the last 6 years, maybe 7 years, has been weightlifting or resistance training or weight training, whatever you want to call it. Basically lifting heavy things and then putting them back down. I find so much enjoyment from weight training. It's kind of silly to talk about, and sometimes I feel like if I had a second channel or a different channel or I changed content, I would love to do like weight training stuff, but I think filming in gyms is really disgusting. You don't go to a gym to end up on a YouTube video, right? So I know people who have careers making gym content need to film at a gym, but it is kind of gross. Anyway, if I could do that, how about this? If I won the lottery, which I'm not actually sure I would be allowed to win the lottery because I'm not a citizen. If I was a citizen and I somehow won the lottery, building my own like at-home gym and then like making gym like not fitness, well I guess it is fit, but like weightlifting content, I'd love it. So it is really important, even on the days where it's spitting out or it's gray, miserable, like today, I really, really enjoy going to the gym, and I find it's one of the best things I've ever done for myself. So it's so important in the wintertime when I'm already like extra depressed. My goal with weight training right now has just been consistency. I aim to go 3 times a week, and also consistency with my routine. So I have 2 routines that I alternate with. 2 routines that I alternate. And my goal is progressive overload, so I'm getting the weights heavier and heavier. It's just something that I really truly enjoy, and I wish more, especially women, I wish more women had confidence to go into the weight section. I know it's scary because the guys are huge there, but it has just been absolutely life-changing for me. So if you can find that thing for you, that exercise or that workout, you know, maybe you're like really into biking or you're really into running or like whatever, do what you gotta do. But may I suggest weight training? Because I love it. And I will just say, whenever I talk about going to the gym, I get comments and emails from people being like, I guess more focused on like the physical, how do I explain this? I go to the gym not because I hate my body and not because I want to lose weight. None of those things are true. I go to the gym because it is good for me. It is a healthy habit. It makes me feel good. I want to be strong, especially for women. Osteoporosis. I don't want any of that, please. So working on weight training, working on building muscle when I am younger will really help me when I'm older. So going to the gym has nothing to do with self-loathing. I'm having a real hard time talking today. It has nothing to do with losing weight. It has nothing to do with being unhappy with your body. No, I don't think of the gym like that. I think of the gym as a really enjoyable hobby that's good for me, that I like to do, that I feel fun and like powerful and strong. And even though the sun sets at 3 p.m., I feel like I can handle it. Because I've lifted heavy things and I put them back down. One thing that's kind of related to the gym, but I do it for a different reason, is yoga. Also, signature teal color, isn't that beautiful? I'd say maybe 2 years ago, one of the things that I wanted to focus on in that year was trying something new, and I landed on joining a yoga studio. I had done yoga maybe like twice, never in a class, only like a YouTube video. So I thought, you know what? We're gonna try something new, signed up to a yoga studio, and I absolutely love it. I find yoga such a nice balance to weightlifting. Weightlifting can be very intense. It can be a lot of strain. You know, you're lifting really, really heavy things. And the yoga class that I like to do is less about like fitness and more of like really deep stretching. And there's also lots of like kind of like meditative elements, if you will. I find yoga really forces you to be present in the moment, to be in your head. You're not stressing about other things. I'm not thinking about videos or editing or whatever. I'm just very like present in the moment, and it is kind of like a meditative element, which I find so good. I never do it on my own. Like, I couldn't just sit here at the table and meditate for 10 minutes. I mean, I could, but I know that I won't. So having a weekly class where I get some crazy good stretches, I have time, you know, an hour to meditate and be present, it really feels kind of like a mental health checkpoint. It's something that I find so beneficial, but I wouldn't necessarily do it on my own at home. There's loads of YouTube videos out there. You can watch yoga or Pilates or literally anything. You know how YouTube works. But I would say yoga once a week, a slow, like chill yoga lesson, not one of the hardcore ones, with loads of stretching and time to like meditate, really kind of clears my head for the rest of the week. It's kind of crazy. And I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I don't care. I like it. And when all else fails, sometimes you just gotta get extra cozy on the couch, maybe a big blanket if you don't mind. Pop on your favorite movie, maybe Gladiator, have a hot cup of tea, get cozy, fuzzy socks are a must, and just wait for all this to blow over. Winter is not easy. Maybe it is for you, maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like winters kind of suck. So whatever your game plan is, I hope it works out for you. I hope you're having a nice winter, making the most of the gray, rainy days. But just know, the days are getting longer, and we will be at spring soon enough. Don't forget, if you want to check out Holy, I have a link in my description, Naps or Naps5, to get a discount. And if you are interested in watching something else, how about this one? I talk about leaving my full-time job here in the UK to become self-employed. How? Terrifying. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!